game number 1 is getting underway. Enough of that. These guys, they're going to be battling it out for a big win in a big way for both of them. And we're about to find out exactly what they're bringing to the table as game number 1 with Powder and Ek0p is getting underway.
And like we said, this is really important for Ek0p. I think if he gets a win here, this is one of those catapulting wins, like you said. Getting a win over a player like Powder with this good of a record and playing this well in his last couple matches does nothing but boost your own ego.
Yeah, I have to totally agree with you, and I actually love that Ek0p is going with a Warlock strategy here. I mean, this is one of his biggest win rates so far in HPL.
Yeah, in his career, he's winning well over 60% of his games in competitive play with Warlock, and we've talked about this. This has been our keys to success for him almost every week. Ek0p, we want more Warlock from you. You've been winning so much with it. Do it.
Yeah, well, now that we didn't talk about it, he's finally going to do it, and I love to see that. Powder, meanwhile, is going to bring Priest, and this is just kind of my personal taste. I, frankly, do not like to bring this deck into a competitive spot, especially not in game number 1 where you don't have basically any read on someone, but this opening hand is monstrous.
Yeah, his opening hand is great. He's got an injured Blade Master and a Circle of Healing. That's going to be a huge threat going forward.
Now, I'm curious how Ek0p wants to handle this. You know, he risks Power Word Shield if he doesn't Dark Bomb right here, but at the same time, do you want to use your coin when you have 3 5-drops in your hand?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that he's going to play, like I was going to say, it's worse off to use your coin here, as you said, with 3 5-drops in your hand. He wants to be able to curve out better. That's way better than just getting off a Dark Bomb.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his side set on that Ironbeak Owl, so we'll find out. Yep, Ironbeak Owl's got to be what it is. You cannot let this guy get out of control. I mean, one of the losing plays after this is actually exactly what Powder has, which is injured Blade Master and then Circle of Healing, and that's exactly what he's trying to avoid.
Yeah, one of the easy ways to lose, though, is to let a Northshire player just get out of control. Yeah. It allows them to use their mana so much more efficiently. The problem that priests have in their games is a lot of times they can't use their mana efficiently going forward. They don't always have a lot of great plays because all their cards are so reactive that if you can make them, have a turn where they don't do anything and they just pass, generally you're winning that game.
Yep.
But if you let Northshire Clerk just draw a lot of extra cards, they're always going to have options.
Great sequencing here from Ek0p too, making sure he draws the card first, then Dark Bombs the injured Blade Master. Right now, I mean, given the way this game is panned out, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Priest, is because when it stumbles in the early game, you get to this mid-game scenario, you find yourself with a lot of situational cards.
Yeah, a lot of situational cards, like the Circle of Healing is great here. It makes it to where another Dark Bomb doesn't take care of your minion, but, what are you going to be doing going forth from here? You just have this 4/7, which on turn 4, as well as say, these Twilight Drakes usually outclass or, evenly class your minion here, and he didn't have to use an extra card for that.
Yeah, he's also got no play here on turn 5 other than attack and a hero power. So how he chooses to use this is a very big deal right now. I'm going to guess he's just going to hero power up, but this is going to leave him vulnerable to a second Mortal Coil from Ek0p, or even a slew of other actions that he may want to go forward with. I mean, look at his hand right now. He's got all the options in the world.
Yeah, he can even start getting really aggressive if he wanted to with like Blackwing Corruptor. The world is his oyster right now. He has so many options, and he gets to draw a lot of extra cards going forward. He's going to be outclassing Powder almost every turn for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm loving this play. If you trade in the Twilight Drake, Mortal Coil, you can still coin out the Azure Drake afterwards. But the big difference here, though, is that now that he's drawn the Malagos, he's definitely going to coin out the Azure Drake. The thought process before this, though, was does he want to lose the Blackwing Corruptor value, or does he want to get the Azure Drake on the board? So this actually might have been Sludge Belcher had you not seen another Dragon draw.
Yeah, I think you would have seen Sludge Belcher, even though Blackwing Corruptor's value is a little bit lower since you've already gotten through one of the Northshire Clerics and the injured Blade Master, so there's not much left over for you to deal 3 damage to get a ton of value out of, but still the flexibility is what he wants.
Yeah, and Powder on turn 6, I mean, his only real option here is to play Cabal Shadow Priest, and I can tell you he definitely doesn't want to do that. He's just going to be hero power passing, and everything is on Ek0p's side of the board now.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling for Ek0p, and you know what? Coming in at this record and really needing a win, getting the win in game 1, which, I mean, he looks far ahead, he hasn't won the game yet, but this is what he really needs, to help his confidence out.
This could be one of the spots where there's a turning point for Powder. I mean, this is what this deck is trying to do too, is react to these kinds of situations. Light Bomb is not really short on action here, nor is Cabal Shadow Priest at this point. But, it's not just a matter of dealing with the threats that are on the board, it's a matter of dealing with the ones later, and then also closing the game afterwards.
Yeah, you're going to see Powder maybe exercise some patience here, where a lot of players would fire off a Dark Bomb. I was about to say, I thought he might just, Light Bomb. He might just Cabal Shadow Priest here and take the Defender of Argus and just be patient, because, he has to deal with what's coming next, and Light Bomb is one of his best answers to, gigantic minions coming forward, but he's starting to see that this is the Dragon Warlock deck, and he doesn't really need to be worried about giants.
Yeah, as soon as he saw the Azure Drake, the jig was pretty much up. In that spot. Light Bomb, opposite of Dark Bomb.
Yeah.
Deals, just heals for 3 for 2 mana. This isn't very good at all.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that's a bomb.
Great draw here from Ek0p as well. Just hero powers into Azure Drake. Just getting to use, there's the Dark Bomb right there.
Yep. So, I mean, Powder, once again, has to make something happen. Cabal Shadow Priest looks great here. But the problem is that he's leaving an Azure Drake on board. This is so dangerous in this situation. He's even just going to Power Word Shield, wants to start picking up cards and hope that he can find some real action here, because so far he's got nothing going for him.
Yeah, nothing going for him. Also, my Soul Priest picked up, you know, not going to be amazing in this situation going forward. He can get the Zombie Chow into play, then get the ability to actually be 5 damage to Ek0p's face, get a little Mind Blast action going, but...
Well, Ek0p, once again, all of the options in the world on his side. And plenty of ways to handle this board position.
Yeah, and you're actually going to see these Blackwing Corruptors get a ton of value here. We talked about, you know, they might not have a lot, but, you know, Powder provided him with some pretty good spots for his Blackwing Corruptor here. Now, while Ek0p thinks here, I just want to talk about this deck a little bit. What Ek0p's trying to do is he's trying to control the game as much as possible with this Warlock deck, and he's going to have one giant turn with Malygos going forward, where he deals a ton of damage with cards like Soulfire. And I was about to say, he needs an Emperor Thaurissan, though, to really make this tick. Once Malygos is a little bit less mana, once it's 8 mana, Dark Bomb is 1, and Soulfire is 0, he can finish off a game very quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to not play Emperor Thaurissan in this spot. I mean, again, board tension's building, but when you have Malygos, Soulfire, Dark Bomb in your hand, Emperor is one of the best draws you can have in this situation.
You're also at 25, and what is Powder really going to punish you with?
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to have something like absolutely crazy, like Baron Rivendare, second Zombie Chow, Auchenai Soul Priest, and a Circle of Healing to deal you 20 damage. That was actually one of the first decks I built when Zombie Chow had come out too, and the Baron Rivendare was there. I was like, I can trigger the Death Rattles twice. It's 20 damage.
Yeah, you would do that.
And it didn't work out very well. Ek0p, though, everything's working out very well for him, and Powder, lot of heat on him now, and he knows that Auchenai Soul Priest, I'm sorry, that the Emperor Thaurissan means a lot of trouble for him right now.
Yeah, when you see Ek0p push for damage like that, when he's just going to, you know, attack his Azure Drake into you instead of taking 2 very, you know, favorable trades here, you have to believe that you're in trouble here.
Yeah, he certainly is in trouble. And Implosion not going to be too much help in this spot. You know, Ek0p's got 17 points of burst, so there's a possibility that Powder can just sustain this board position and recover it. I mean, he does have threats on the board to start handling what's happening here. But I mean, at this point, do you want to heal yourself or do you want to heal your minions? I mean, this is a sticky situation. He's seen both Mortal Coils. Maybe he's comfortable just leaving his minions at 1 health.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty comfortable leaving his minions at 1 health. He's even going to give Ek0p back his life. It doesn't matter from here. I think he's going to be healing himself. He is really worried about, you know, Malygos. Oh, I was about to say he is going to heal the minion. Wow.
He wants to protect from Hellfire on that one. Knows that he can't protect the Cabal Shadow Priest from Hellfire, so not going to worry about it. And again, he's seen both Mortal Coils, so it's not a dangerous situation for that you know, that regard. But again, Ek0p just so much damage in his hand. I mean, maybe this is even like a double Blackwing Corruptor, the face sort of play.
Oh, just get really, really aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, if you put him to 13, you have the burst in your hand to kill him, so why not?
Ek0p moves forward on here, you know, drawing Shadow Flame does maybe, you know, change a thing or two.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, the Shadow Flame definitely is going to, you know, pique his interest a little bit, just as well as the fact that he's got so many valuable plays in his hand. You know, Twilight Drake, Sludge Belcher, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing Sludge Belcher and using Shadow Flame on it as well. I mean, you're not going to pick off the Defender of Argus with, you know, any of your other minions anyway.
Yeah, but he's going to life tap first. This kind of tells me he's leaning towards Twilight Drake and Sludge Belcher. It could be Blackwing Corruptor on the 4/1 as well. I mean, he can still very easily fight a value battle. That's one of the dangerous parts of this deck, is that even once you reach this stage of the game, you have 2 ways to win.
Yeah, I love this from Ek0p as well, because it's making Powder fight for the board while the real fight is going on somewhere else, but he doesn't realize that yet.
Yeah, the card advantage battle, I mean, this is a real fight right now, and Ek0p is winning it.
Yeah, not only that, but he has the Malygos, the Soulfire, and the Dark Bomb in his hand. He only needs to get through a couple more points of damage to finish this game off. So making Powder continuously fight for the board over and over and over again, any of the turns you get ahead of him, you can probably kill him.
Yeah, no way to deal with the Azure Drake this turn, so he's going to have to let it sit on board and hope that things work out for him afterwards. But this looks like lethal damage to me. 4, bring him down to 17, and then 9, and then 9 and 8 points of damage. That looks like exact lethal, actually.
Ek0p's going to do a little math here and make sure he doesn't mess anything up.
Now, always got to do math when you have plus 10 spell damage on your 2 spells that you're casting, but Powder's about to get the bad news right now, because Ek0p has got everything in his hand to finish this game.
Yeah, and good for Ek0p getting a win out of the way right away. As we said earlier, getting that first one, just get on the board. You're playing against a great player in Powder. You really need to not only win games, but start winning matches very quickly. Just get the first one out the way.
Yeah, what a game 1 from Ek0p, too.